Hello everyone, welcome to our online math class. As you can see, our today's class title is Let's Play with Angles, and this is part 2. I hope you all guys can remember our last class. In our last class we have basically discussed about one mostly used unit of angle, that means degree. And we have also told you guys about the story behind the evolution of this unit system and the relation between these stories and so many things. Today we will discuss about three most common units of angles. What are these? These are obviously degree, Gradian and Radian. Maybe you guys have already noticed one thing in your calculator. The thing is, maybe you have noticed three digits. The digits are D, G and R. These digits can be seen in your calculator. You can check it now also. What does that digits mean? D stands for degree, G stands for Gradian and R stands for Radian. These three unit systems are mostly used nowadays. Now, as we have already talked about degree, so in our today's class I am going to start with Gradian. So first thing first, what is Gradian? That's a good question. So to understand Gradian, let us consider a right angle. Okay, this is a right angle, and as we know that this right angle means actually 90 degree. Well, at the very beginning of the metric scale number system, they considered everything in 10 based number system, everything in 10, that means 10 or 100 or 1000, everything on 10 based. So what they did at the very beginning of this 10 based number system, they divided this right angle into 100 pieces. Okay, in 100 pieces. So each angle is considered as one gradient. So what does that mean? That means that if we consider a right angle that is actually 90 degree in degree system, this is basically 100 gradient, right? I hope you can understand this thing. And it is also called one gun. This is also used for gradient. Well, where is this unit system used? This unit of angle is basically used for different survey purposes, and this is limited to these survey purposes only. This is no more used in other cases nowadays. So let's consider a circle. So in this circle, as we all know that in this circle there are 4 right angles. That means this is a right angle, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and this one is another right angle. So these 4 right angles create the circle, and we know that each right angle is actually 100 gradient. So these 4 right angles, that means 4 into 90 degree is equal to 360 degree. And at the same time, this is also true that 4 into 100 gradient is equal to 400 gradient. As 90 degree is equal to 100 gradient, so 360 degree is basically same angle as 400 gradient. Okay, fine. Now we know that 90 degree is equal to pi by 2 radian. Well, one thing to be noted, radian is symbolized as c. Why c is used for representing radian? Because c comes from circular measurement idea. So you can easily understand the thing that radian is very much related to the concept of circle. So let's talk about radian now. What is radian? To understand radian, let's consider a circle. Well, this is a circle. Suppose this is the center of the circle, this is the radius r of the circle. Now I want to travel r distance through the arc. So if I travel the r distance through the arc, then what will happen? Suppose I have started from this point and walking in this direction. After walking r distance through the arc, I have reached here. So if I joint this point with the center, so an angle is produced at the center of the circle. This angle is actually called 1 radian. So if this distance is equal to the radius, then the angle produced at the center of the circle will be 1 radian. So if arc length is r, then the angle produced at the center will be 1 radian. If the arc length is 1, then the angle will be 1 by r radian. So if the arc length is twice pi r, then the angle will be twice pi r divided by r radian. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the result will be twice pi. So why I have considered twice pi here? Because for this circle, if I start walking from this point and walk through the circumference of the circle and come to this point again, then I have actually traveled the circumference of the circle, and we know that the length of circumference of a circle is twice pi r. So if we consider the arc length twice pi r, that means we are considering the whole circle, and it is producing twice pi radian at the center of the circle. Okay, fine. And this is also equal to 360 degree. We know that 360 degree is equal to twice pi radian. And at the very beginning of our today's lecture, I have showed you guys that 360 degree is basically equal to 400 gradian. So 360 degree is equal to 400 gradian, that is equal to twice pi radian. This is the relation between these three different units of angle. Okay, fine. I hope you guys have understood these things. Now let us discuss few more things related to radian and circle. To discuss these things, first let me consider a circle again. This is a circle. Suppose that this is a arc length S. This arc length produces an angle theta at the center of the circle. So what happens here? Suppose we have just said that if the arc length is r, then it will produce an angle of 1 radian at the center. So if the arc length is 1, it will produce 1 by r radian. So if the arc length is s, it will produce an angle of s by r radian. but we have just said that the produced angle is theta. So theta will be equal to S by R radian. What does that mean? What is the physical significance of this statement? The physical significance is that if I want to measure the angle produced at the center of a circle or a arc length, we can easily divide the arc length with the radius and we will get the angle produced at the center. Okay, fine. And this is a very important concept of circle, and this is a very vital tool for calculation in different important mathematical problems. Well, this was all I wanted to cover in our today's lecture, but before leaving, let me ask you one thing. The thing is a very small and easy quiz. Suppose we are considering 45 degree, right? This one is 45 degree and this one will be minus 45 degree. Why this one is minus 45 degree? I hope you guys all know that. We know that if we consider angles in the counterclockwise direction, the angle will be positive. If we consider angle in the clockwise direction, the angle will be negative. That's why this one is the 45 degree and this one is minus 45 degree. My question is, 45 degree is equal to how much gradient and how much radian? Similarly, minus 45 degree is equal to how much gradient and how much radian? So this was my question. I hope you guys will solve it easily, and if you find any problem, please feel free to share with me. Thank you. Have a good day. Best of luck. Goodbye.